per week from Victoria Regional Airport to Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. This funding comes from the U.S. Department of Transportation through the Essential Air Services program. A man in Bucks County, Pennsylvania is in custody accused of brutally killing his father and posting a video about it online. The 32-year-old is facing several charges, including first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Court records reported police went to a home and found a man surrounded in blood and his head removed. That's when they learned about a YouTube video posted by the man's son. In this video, the suspect went on a political rant before showing off his father's decapitated head.
That person's located and detained, and I think the neighborhood can rest easy, because I think they were a little uneasy for a while before they knew where the person of interest was.
The suspect was stopped by police when he attempted to flee around 11:30 p.m. He was arraigned early this morning and held without bail. He is scheduled for a hearing on February 8th. The National Weather Service has posted a river flood warning for the Crossroads. The warning for Victoria and Calhoun counties is in effect until late Thursday evening for the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. At 7 o'clock tonight, the river was at 21.2 feet. Flood stage is 20 feet. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. So, Mac, that means that we'll be probably out of river flood warnings and by the time we're here at 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
I do believe we will, since we've got all this dry weather. However, with the rain coming in this weekend, I don't think it's going to be enough rain to really affect the flooding levels. This is an important map. You see all this green here? There's a marginal risk of severe weather Friday night into Saturday morning. So what's to say that the stuff coming in on the weekend is not a little garden variety little rain? It could be some heavy thunderstorms, and we'll be talking about that coming up in just a few minutes. Don?
Mac, thank you. A whistleblower lawsuit against Ken Paxton's office, the state attorney general, will continue, a judge ruled Wednesday, raising the possibility that Paxton could be forced onto the witness stand in the future. The Dallas Morning News reports in a bid to end the lawsuit, Paxton asked a state district judge in Travis County to impose a judgment in favor of the whistleblowers. The judge rejected the request, siding with lawyers for the whistleblowers who argued that Paxton and his agency did not admit guilt in the case. Multiple agencies were on the scene of a gas pipeline explosion in the Oklahoma Panhandle Tuesday morning. The fire happened between Midway Church and Darrozette. As of today, gas is still flowing, but lines to the pipeline are now closed. Fire crews say the high flames burned high lines and affected power, but electricity has since been restored. No one was hurt in the fire and damage was minimal. A Faces of Homeless panel will be held Thursday afternoon in Victoria. The panel provides a chance for talks between people who have experienced homelessness with those who want to learn more about homelessness. The panel will be at the UHV West Alcorn Auditorium, room 204 at 3000 North Ben Wilson Street. Here's your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. What do you think is the main reason for homelessness? Is it inadequate affordable housing? Is it unemployment or mental health or substance abuse issues or lack of social support or limited education? And the choice that got the most votes? Substance at 52%, substance abuse issues. We thank you for voting and come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. The Cayman Furniture Company delivered furniture to a home in our area today. It's their annual Magic of Christmas giveaway, which was postponed in December. 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel was there this afternoon and has more. Adam?
It's almost February, Don, but for one local family, it still feels like Christmas. For the Galvan family, they thought it was just another Wednesday. They had just moved into a new home, doing a walkthrough of the home with their landlord. But when they saw a Victoria fire truck, a Cayman furniture truck, and Santa Claus, they knew something was up.
A little surprised. I didn't know what was going on.
Completely surprised, man. Speechless.
Raymond and Felicia have 5 children ranging in ages 8 to 16, and they say this will have a great impact on their family. Getting a complete house full of brand new furniture from couches, chairs, mattresses, bunk beds, rugs, and more.
They have room, man. That room in the trailer house that we were in, they were just growing out of it, man. They couldn't fit in their rooms, and our oldest didn't even have his own bed in that room. So now he has his own bed here and everything. So it means a lot. Cameron said he's so grateful because he's never had anything like this.
Yeah, I haven't really talked to them. They're like, they're all looking around. They're excited. They're excited.
And getting brand new furniture is something this family has never been able to do, so it really is like a Christmas miracle.
We would have nothing, man, and we would start from the bottom and simply just buy piece by piece by piece by piece, or go into resale shops for.
Yeah, that's how we did it last time. We just, just got what we could, and nothing's wrong with resale shops, but that's where we got our stuff at. Like, never had anything brand new, So just giving our kids a little glimpse, we're in awe.
Bentley Kamen, along with his dad, Buddy Kamen, or also known as Santa Claus, said they were connected with the Galvan family through Riverside Church pastor Bobby Rivera, who said the Galvan family was deserving of such a wonderful gift.
How they volunteer and work really hard, and just are really good people, and has been part of their church for I think 7 years now. And so we basically contacted Mr. Wiedemeyer and came over here and checked out their house and seen what they were needing, and they needed a whole house full, and this is the perfect family. This is what we look for every year.
Raymond just thankful to be where they're at.
If it wasn't for us serving God, if it wasn't for us being faithful in the church and staying consistent with God, none of this would have been possible. He's taken us from drugs, he's taken us from the streets, but just put us in a place where we're comfortable,
safe.
where we're safe, where there's stability for our children.
So to the Galvan family, if you're watching this on your brand new couch, we hope you enjoy it and make wonderful memories in your new home with all your brand new furniture. Reporting in Victoria, I'm Adam Seibel, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Adam, thank you. Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller will speak in Victoria tomorrow. Miller will speak at a campaign event for State Representative District 30 Republican candidate A.J. Louderback. The event will be at the Club at Colony Creek, 301 Colony Creek Drive, from 5 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. The event will also feature a message from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Election day for the Victoria mayoral election is this Saturday. 14 polling centers will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On the ballot, Peter Brown, Carissa Witters, Josephine Solis, Dwayne Crocker, Jacob Sauceda, and Bob Constantine. Join us Saturday for complete coverage of the special mayoral election. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center is urgently asking for blood donors of all blood types. The center especially needs type O and platelet donors to make an appointment now to meet the daily hospital demand. The need for blood, especially type O, is particularly high. O-negative blood is critical because it can be used for any patient in an emergency, while O-positive is the most common blood type. Platelets are also urgently needed to support patients undergoing chemotherapy and suffering from traumatic injuries. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Calhoun County Commissioners Court approved their agreement with VEDC to provide economic development services in the Calhoun County area. And the Calhoun Port Authority Board won the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence Award. Plus, the Point Comfort City Council approved Lori Sparks as councilwoman after Laura Kurtz's resignation. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you're on YouTube, you can see Crossroads Today. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. The parents of a Miami social media model accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend have been arrested. Also ahead, the FDA has issued a warning for people to stop using copycat unapproved eye drops. Arrested the parents of a Miami social media model accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend in 2022. The parents were arrested yesterday in Texas. Police reviewed text messages where the parents tried to hack the victim's laptop. But Florida law says breaking into someone's laptop without permission is a crime. State records show the couple is facing 1 count of unauthorized access to a computer. The woman will receive the same charge, but she's also facing second-degree murder for killing her boyfriend.
We believe is incriminating evidence, and it goes to the cover-up, for which my family has always believed that Mr. Ambaselli was the victim in this case. This was never self-defense. The family is very happy that the state attorney's office continued to pursue justice in this matter.
Records show the woman's attorneys were part of the group chat where the parents were discussing passwords, but records show they warned them to not poke around. It's not clear when the couple will be extradited to Miami. The world of soccer is filled with roaring crowds and exciting matches, but there's a darker side to the game. Heading the ball can lead to brain problems.
Soccer, the most popular sport in the world, is not without its risks. Researchers in Sweden found that former Swedish soccer players have a 46% higher risk of being diagnosed with brain diseases like Alzheimer's. These diseases gradually get worse over time, and players in other sports like football are at a higher risk for developing them as well. Heading the ball might be one reason why. Defenders, midfielders, and strikers are at a higher risk of the neurodegenerative diseases compared to goalkeepers whose heads rarely touch the ball. Researchers are continuing to study brain injury in soccer players. Meantime, experts recommend younger soccer players don't head the ball and take any hard hits to the head seriously. With this Medical Minute, I'm Em Nguyen, ABC News.
The FDA issued a warning about unapproved copycat eye drops. The brands South Moon, Rebright, and Five-Ago should not be bought or used. The agency says these products lacked an active ingredient used in approved eye drops, and that samples tested from South Moon have come up positive for a bacteria that causes eye infections. The FDA says the copycat products can be easily mistaken for Lumify brand eye drops, which are approved for eye redness relief. Tax season is underway. Here are some steps you can take to help make filing go as smooth as possible.
Tax season is underway. The IRS is now accepting 2023 federal tax returns. CNN Business recently mapped out steps you can take to help make filing go smoothly for you. And one of the first things you'll want to do is pull out last year's return. That will give you a starting point for what documents you'll need this year. And it's especially important now, as many people have gone paperless, and last year's return will give you a snapshot of your financial accounts. And consider what big life changes like marriage or buying or selling a home occurred in 2023. And if you began receiving Social Security or moved to a new state, those are also events that could affect a refund or how much you may owe the IRS. You'll also need to address any small businesses or side gigs you may have. Check to see if you've been issued a 1099-K form reflecting any income from either of those as well. And do what you can to speed up your return. The majority of tax filers do receive money back, and the IRS typically issues them within 21 days of accepting your return. Make sure yours is filed out accurately and completely, and choose direct deposit to get the refund as quickly as possible. For more tips on preparing your 2023 tax return, check out the full story at CNN.com.
Here's a look at some of the top headlines you'll find in the Cuero Record. The Cuero Chamber of Commerce hosts the State of Cuero Business Luncheon, and a Black History Month event is scheduled in Cuero for this Saturday. Read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com, and Mac will now tell you if the weather will be good for that event in Cuero on Saturday morning.
Ooh, maybe I should leave now. You know, it's like, well, because for all of you who are having events this weekend, we do have some thunder showers around here on Saturday morning. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Right now, we're at 54 degrees, managed to get up into the 70s today, got up to 72. Didn't feel much like winter out there or the last day of January. Well, as we get into the weekend, though, there's a cold front coming in from the west coast. We'll tell you what it's going to do to your weekend coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. Well, we had another pretty good day today, and late in the afternoon, however, the clouds sort of rolled up. They rolled up from the south, which is part of the reason why we're a little bit warmer than normal for this time of year. As we get on our bigger view, you can see how across the crossroads and for the state of Texas, we do have some showers out there in far west Texas, but they're not really going to be much of anything. Here's the cloud deck coming all the way from the tropics, and you know the tropics are much warmer right now because of El Nino. What does that mean? Means the Pacific Ocean in the equator is warmer than normal by at least 3 to 8 degrees. Well, the big West Coast storm is the one that's going to be actually affecting you coming in this weekend. This is a monster storm, basically from the Aleutians all the way down to almost Hawaii. They're going to be getting 5 to 10 inches of rain along the West Coast and 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds blowing through there as well. Now, the storm is going to cross the Rockies, weakened quite a bit before it comes into our area, but at this point in time, how much rain will we get is the question. So let's take a look at your overnight temperatures, getting down to the upper 40s, almost 50 degrees right about there, 49 in the Victoria area, 50 out in Cuero. And then tomorrow, we're going to be looking at your high temperatures right at about 70, 71 degrees. So not a bad looking day. I think you'll see more cloud cover tomorrow than we did today. And that's all part of this setup that we're getting for the rain thing. All right, let's take a look at our next map, and we can show you that we're looking for highs at about 70 degrees. Now, this is for Friday, and as you can see, this green area, the Severe Storms Lab right here is expecting a marginal chance for severe weather this on Friday. This is when the front comes through. It'll be over here on Friday. It'll be over us in the dark after midnight, but certainly by Saturday it will blow through here. Let me show you what we're talking about. We also have some better news for the river flooding. You can see how this is the Guadalupe at Bloomington. So it was over here and then it started falling. This is today right there. So by tomorrow it should be out of flood stage and back into within its banks. All right, the big map will show you what's happening across the country. High pressures over here giving us the south wind. We are going to see that move forward. For your Thursday, it'll be out here. That'll encourage a stronger sea breeze. The storm starts moving inland. Then you can see it on Friday, right about there, somewhere in West Texas. So Friday night late, probably after midnight, it'll come through this region and boom, it'll bring with it a line of thunder showers. Now, it's not going to be a very long period. I'm going to call it maybe 6 to 8 hours, where we'll have showers and some thunderstorms. But it's going to move through very quickly. In fact, by Saturday morning, it should be out of the place, out of the area. So let's take a look at your Sunday. Finally, we'll get a dry north wind behind it, and then we move on and we see a little bit better weather by the time we get to Sunday and Monday. So moving forward, we're going to do this. Watch this high temperature on Thursday. Let's go forward. The freeze line is way up here in Canada. Nobody's freezing on the first day of February across the U.S. Tomorrow, up to 71 in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, we're looking for a high also of about 71. And your 7-day forecast will show you. We've got a good-looking Thursday. Friday starts off okay, but then by Friday night after dark, showers will start rolling in. Some stormy weather possible on Saturday morning, and then it clears up just in time for Saturday night. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Zach with sports.
UIL realignment one sleep away. I'll have that coming up in sports. So it happens once every 2 years, and tomorrow is that day, and that is UIL realignment. It was said a few months back. It is expected that East and West will be in different districts next year, but that should not take away the game itself. They would likely just have it scheduled much earlier in the year. But of course, we've got an entire Crossroads region that will learn of their new positioning. We will find those out early tomorrow morning. Last night in Bloomington, the boys walked away with a huge overtime victory as they try to keep the pace amongst the top in the district. But what about the girls? Will they too pick up a win as they look to continue their push for a playoff spot? The final score in that one, 44-29. Haley Gardner with 15 of the Lady Cats' 44 points. Kylie Proctor had 16 points, so they both had very impressive stat lines. Over at Victoria East, the girls led 50-3 at the half over the Ray Texans, and that was the first possession of the second half. You kind of get the point. The girls simply outmatching the Ray Texans en route to a 93-17 win. Cameron Jackson had 17 all by herself, which led the way. KK Cleveland and Celine Longoria followed that up with 16 points apiece. Nevaeh Sanchez rounds out the double-digit scorers with 13. Girls still undefeated in district play. Yoakum also fighting for the postseason in third in that tight district race. They pull out the win over Tidehaven. Jamara Hopkins, 18 points, led the way for the Bulldogs. Huge win in Goliad for the Goliad Tigerettes. They just do squeeze by the Aransas Pass Panthers. They are tied for first place in that district with only 2 games remaining. We also had a bunch of soccer in the area as well, starting out with the West Warrior ladies. They had to go to penalty kicks, but they do get a win there. Mia Fonseca only allowed the 1 goal in regulation. The girls went 5 for 5 in PKs. Abby Adcock, Mia Ramirez, Kennedy Blau, Nadia Rodriguez, and Cassandra Baez all found the back of the net. The El Campo boys seem to be back on that championship path. They are ranked very high, by the way, winning 11-0 on the road in Palacios. They get Columbus on the 2nd, and a big one with Calhoun on February 6th, who was also ranked. And speaking of the Sand Crabs, they were just as dominant with a 10-1 win over the Wharton Tigers. They remain perfect in the district. John Moreno had a hat trick, according to Wave Sports. From one version of football to another, I'm talking about the NFL. We have one of the final 2 remaining head coaching vacancies. Well, that's been filled. The Seattle Seahawks will reportedly hire Mike Macdonald, who was the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. Macdonald, just 36 years of age, set to become the youngest head coach in the league. Only the Washington Commanders vacancy remains unfilled. All right, that's it for sports. Don, back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, Valentine's Day spending is expected to hit a record this year. Valentine's Day spending is expected to reach a record $14.2 billion. Based on trends, this year is expected to be the second most expensive Valentine's Day. 2020 had set the highest at $27.4 billion. Reports say about $6.4 billion will be spent on jewelry, $2.6 billion spent on flowers, $3 billion spent on clothing, and about $4.9 billion spent on an evening out. The average couple spends about $180 each on Valentine's Day or leading up to it. Wow. Thursday is National Serpent Day. Not my idea. The day began to help people overcome their fear of snakes, or at least understand and appreciate them. You see, over the years, snakes have come to represent good, medicine, and fertility.
So then why is he so scared?
I don't know. There are more than 3,000 species on Earth, with only a fraction, a fraction being venomous.
And that's a friendly one.
And most are known to be shy. That's what the script says. One fun fact, snake venom is used to treat many ailments, including pain, high blood pressure, strokes, heart disease, and even cancer. And maybe some of our viewers got high blood pressure from looking at that video right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I don't care how many benefits there are to a snake.
Right.
I'm not getting near it.
Yeah, we're not.
And you know, Zach, you need to learn something from the old guys.
Oh, goodness.
It's a good thing that when you're married a long time, she doesn't want roses. She doesn't want gifts. Just give me the money.
Well, look, a fellow old guy, when does the fog start coming in?
The foggy skies will be in by morning. And so overnight, 2 or 3 o'clock, we'll start getting cool enough to get some fog. Tomorrow, a little bit more cloud cover, but still around 70 degrees. Friday will be windy and warm, up to about 75. It'll be hot, actually. But then the front comes in late at night. And overnight, we'll get some thunder showers so that by Saturday morning, it will be a little stormy out there. Now, by noon on Saturday, should be gone, so just consider that for your weekend plans.
Thank you, Mac. And finally tonight, come on, baby, light my Viking ship. Hundreds of torchbearers on Tuesday set a replica longship on fire to celebrate a Viking festival in Shetland's capital in Scotland. The festival began in the 1880s, celebrating the island's Norse heritage. More than 1,000 torches were lit during the 2 processions. For the first time in its 143-year-old history, women and girls joined and led the procession through the town. The festival is held on the last Tuesday of every January. And when they have the females in there, some of the guys saw that and saw some of their old flames in there. Hey, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Join Carolina Ostraini, meteorologist Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.